This is the last video to the assignment on Salesforecast assignment. In this one, we're looking at the last page of the assignment, part C, where we are going to do some graphing. But before we get to graphing, a couple more things with formatting, and that is creating borders around certain parts of your table. So this is at the point we're at before part C of the last page of the assignment. So if you want to put borders on, for example, you might want to highlight this area here, and right beside on one of your menu bars here, you're going to find something that looks like this, right beside the underline option or somewhere along this toolbar. And this gives you a whole slew of choices for borders, so you can pick anything. I like having the students experiment with this at this point. So for example, I might have just choose that first one for outside borders, just for that first part of the table, just to give it a little bit more emphasis, as you can see here. And this part of the table, maybe perhaps the totals here. I'm just going to highlight this particular bar or row here, and I might just want a thick line underneath here just for the totals, and I just go back to the borders. Again, there's a whole slew of choices you have here for borders. So I'm going to pick, for example, thick bottom border. Here we did the formatting, and because these are totals here, maybe we might want to format these totals as currency. So for example, you just might highlight just the total numbers for each month, and then you can go up to here, format, the area that we just highlighted, the cells that we just highlighted, and we can go here, and of course we go back to number, and then maybe choose currency and 2 decimal places with the dollar sign in front. So again, it gives you quite a few options here, and I go to OK. And you can see that these have been all converted to currency. There's also these buttons here. These are the speed buttons for currency, for percentage, for decimal places, etc. So you can use those, or you can use the format menu. And the students usually take their time just experimenting, because there's so much more this can do in terms of formatting. This is just a quick synopsis of some of the formatting tools, but there's a whole slew of formatting options under each of these buttons here for letting the students experiment. Let's go to graphing. Graphing, in this assignment, we're going to part C, the last page of the assignment, where we're graphing. And we're going to do a horizontal graph. So in step 1, it says to highlight from A5 to B10. So we're going to go from A5 to B10. So we highlight that area. And now we simply go up to our option here called charts. And that opens up a whole sub menu or toolbar. And there's a whole bunch of things the students can do here. And again, this is good for investigation and experimentation. We're just going to keep it very simple. So I've highlighted the area or the cells I want to create a graph, and I'm just going to go with the columns here. And again, that opens up a sub menu, and I'm just going to pick that first one. Again, look at the choices. Again, this is a great time for students to experiment. I'm just going to go up to and choose clustered, and right away it takes the data and produces the table or the chart in the middle of our screen. Now you can do a lot of formatting with this before, as you can see on the student handout what the final product looks like. So if you notice, I've moved my cursor up in this area. It says chart area, and then if I go into the graph, it's plot area. So there's the chart area and there's a plot area. I'm just going to go into the chart area. I'm going to right click the mouse, and then it opens up a window, and I'm going to format the chart area. Pops up a sub window. And again, so much to choose from. Just keeping it simple here. I'm going to go with a solid background. Look at the choices you have here to work with to make a real snazzy looking graph for your assignment here. But I'm just going to keep it simple here. Solid. Right now there's no color, so I'm going to pick a color. And again, you can play with this. I'm just going to keep just choose this for now. And notice as I make the change, it goes into the graph. Click on OK. The same idea in the plot area. I'm just going to right click, format the plot area, same idea. I'm going to get the same window appearing. This time let's choose gradient. And right now there is no gradient, so I have to pick a style gradient. I'm going to let's just go with a radial. I don't like that color, so you have the choice now to change the color. So I'm just going to, let's pick a light color, maybe something green, and then you can use this. Notice as I'm making the change here, you can see it happening in the actual chart. And I got a black and greenish here, so I'm just going to maybe use the slider here just to lighten that. Maybe I just, something, you can play with that a little bit, or you can add a color. So let's add a color. So far I've got the green color. Let's add another a light color maybe, so that we don't get such a dark background. And again, you can use the sliders to manipulate the color scheme. I'm just going to keep it simple. Let's just go to OK here. Okay, and this is what it looks like so far. Now, if you notice, our horizontal bars can also be worked with individual. If I click on it, notice how all the horizontal bars are selected. I'm just going to right click in one of the bars, and the same thing. Okay, format the data series, and I'm going to get the same window again. I'm just going to keep with a solid color, and maybe choose another light color here. That's a little bit too light. Maybe let's, again, I'm not the best at picking the colors here. And go to OK. Again, students have the opportunity to really experiment with all the tools for formatting. Now, if you notice all the horizontal bars are one solid color, you can change the color of each. And notice what happens when I actually change the color of one of them as opposed to all of them. So I'm going to double click on one here. So right now this is the one that's selected. You see that these ones are deselected. I'm going to right click in here, and I'm going to go to format data point, and let's just give it a different color. I don't know, let's go to OK. And notice how it changed that color, but notice what's happened to the legend here too. And these can be reversed so that they're horizontal. So you can change each individual color here of the chart here. It's going to make it. Here you can change the colors as well. So if I click on the title here, you can right click and it'll go to format chart title, give you all those options again. The legend here, the same thing, you can right click on it and format it. Without going into great detail, usually I let the students experiment here and really create some fascinating graphs just by trial and error and experimentation. Now I can move this particular chart away from the actual data, so it kind of hangs out right at the bottom here. This can also be placed on a new page, but for this assignment we're going to keep the chart on the same page. And don't forget to always hit the save button to update your assignment. I'm just going to change the name on this file here. And that ends this last video for formatting.